Hola everybody, welcome to Nawake, welcome to World Culture Retreats. I'm Sujung and
I'm Bianca.
and Bianca is Wilma. Come on now, I'm shooting a video. That's Wilma. But yeah, so this is Bianca's first time at Nawake, and she's like my soul sister, and I'm so blessed to have her here right now. Thank you, girl. Thank you for trusting and coming out. I'm so excited to see her healing and her experience with the Bufo, and I know how much it's transformed me and helped heal me and just step into my divine purpose. And so we're kind of doing like a little before and after about like how do you feel before the Bufo and how do you feel after the Bufo. So yeah, girl, I'm gonna just ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
And everything you say is perfect.
Okay.
So no worries. How do you feel? How do you feel about the medicine? And
I feel good.
Okay.
I just arrived in Mexico this morning, and I have been thinking about this and just kind of preparing myself. And I know there's no way to fully comprehend what I'm about to experience, but for the past 3 weeks I've been fasting for Ramadan, and I've been every day for 16 hours, just no food, a little bit of water though, and eating in the morning and eating at night. And when I eat, I do a prayer, and my prayers are connecting myself with the source of life, the source of energy, the source of my heartbeat, the source of your heartbeat, the source of Wilma's heartbeat, is the source of the trees and how they grow. And to connect with that on a daily basis, twice a day, and to every time I get hungry, I remember that feeling, and I have to just remember that I can sustain myself off remembering that where my source of life actually comes from. I feel like all of that is in preparation for right now.
oh, yes.
And so it's just for me to be sitting around mango trees, moringa trees, the aloe, the noni, the banana trees, the birds, the ocean, you. It's
girl.
the hummingbirds. I mean, it just feels like I've found like a paradise. That source was like, girl, you did the hard work and the dedication, and you think that it went unnoticed, but it didn't. And here's your blessing now. And yeah, so I feel like I'm in a really beautiful place to experience it now.
Oh, girl. Infinite gratitude.
Yeah.
What is your intention with the medicine? Like what do you, well, it can be anything, but like is there anything specific that you want the medicine to heal or to go into?
So my intention is that I really want to feel that vibration that I've been yearning for the past month. And I want to just solidify that connection so that I can wake up in the morning from now on and just really just quickly be able to draw back into it. And I do feel that meditation and eating well and exercise, these are beautiful things to get back to this source, but when you experience certain medicines that can totally help you heal emotional traumas, ancestral traumas, then you're allowed, that diet and exercise and meditation is actually going to really open up that portal for you. And so I feel like the medicine is such a tool in that way, and to see it as a sacred tool. And I believe that I carry on a lot of traumas from my mother and my grandmother and their ancestors down the maternal line, and I believe that I'm in a position where I can heal it so that my daughter I don't want my daughter, my granddaughter, my great-great-granddaughters to ever deal with the trauma of oppression, of sexual violence, of assault, of shutting down your your intuition, shutting down your throat chakra, shutting down your willpower because you're open. And I feel like I finally am in a place where I can ask this medicine to guide me towards finding my true self and my true voice, and so I can just be helping my lineage.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
All your past lives happened so you could be what you are now. And your ancestors are there, like they're rooting for you and they're cheering for you this whole time, and be like, you are a prayer that has been answered. Like generations upon generations have prayed for you to come into existence. And like, I'm so excited for what you're gonna create in this world. You know?
Thank you.
I'm so grateful to be here with you right now, and I know that we have journeyed like many lives together, and I'm really excited to do the after video too, because I just know. What do you have any fears going into this medicine?
Sure. My mom told me before I left her house the other night, I told her what I was doing, and I told her everything. She said, "Come back." And she meant in a spiritual sense. She was afraid that she's heard about different medicines where you never actually come back, and so you're not really in touch with reality after that. And I don't know if that fear is super strong in me, but it is in the back of my head, just because she said that to me, of just not feeling the same after ever again, or it may be difficult to reintegrate back into my everyday routine back in Portland, or if it's difficult to relate to people who have never tried this medicine. And to kind of to go back to the rat race, you know, of what everyone is striving for, material gain, of you know, social security check, of the security of the being just so comfortable with your material wealth that everything's okay. And I'm afraid it's going to be difficult for me after this medicine and after this awakening for me to go back into that complacent lifestyle where, because I'm afraid that then I'll just know about this open door, this magical beauty that we can create, we can strive for, and you're kind of a lone wolf when you're back home. And you're the only one that knows that this exists. And it's so much easier when you're in a place like this, where you're surrounded by people who are very aware that this magic exists. So those are my fears.
That's beautiful.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. What do you envision? How, like, who is Bianca, like the highest Bianca, like your higher self, the most powerful Bianca, like the highest vision of you? What would Bianca be doing?
What would she be doing?
If you could do anything and succeed at it, what would you do?
I want to help heal people.
Okay.
I do. I think that my I feel like she's giving me a high five on that. I wanna help others awaken to their highest potential. I want to sit one-on-one with people and help them get out of that rat race. I don't want that to be the mainstream. Yes, high five, girl. I want to see the courage in other people when they bring that to the table, and I want to softly and gently guide them to who they can be. I want to nourish people with bringing them good food. I want to make them comfortable. I want to do retreats. That would be a beautiful thing. I would love to help Nawake in any way that they need, that I can. I want to be able to paint every day and somehow make a living from that too. But I realize that there's just so much trust involved with these types of jobs instead of a job that has full-time benefits, full-time work, full-time security, full-time paychecks. So, yeah.
I feel you on that too. Even me, like sometimes, like on all the adventures and all the amazing things I've done, a lot of those journeys were still filled with moments of doubt, or like how am I gonna do this, or like just like worries too, fear. And then it happens, and it's like I don't know how, but I believed in it, and you know, like you just keep walking that path and you're gonna get there. Like it's an invisible path, and you just have to feel it. You just gotta keep walking it. And it's like, you know, girl, you know how powerful you are. Like, you know how powerful you are, and you just gotta step into that. Because everything that you want to be is your purpose.
Yeah.
The whole universe wants you to be that.
Yeah.
Like it wants you to be that, dude.
Yeah. It's just scary, you know. That's really what it is, of just fully surrendering to that voice inside of you saying, go towards that light.
Yeah.
And one of the prayers in Sufism is to remind you that the stars and the trees, they are guided by that surrendering. They are guided by that voice, by that light, by that energy. And it's the same one that's inside of our hearts that tells us where to go and what to do and how to grow and how to breathe and how to function. And so if you can look at the trees and see how they surrender, especially during the seasons of just surrendering their leaves every fall and winter, nourishing themselves, and then gaining up that love and energy back up in the spring and sprouting up and then blossoming, and then, you know, and then spreading out their limbs so that they can create blossoms and give everybody the love and nourishment they need. And if you can just look at the trees in that way, being like, that same beauty is inside of me.
Yeah.
Or same with the flowers, the ones that give off this fragrance and these colors, and these most beautiful colors and patterns and symmetry. And you look at that, and that you can remind yourself that beauty that's in that flower, the same beauty that's inside of me and guiding me. And it's like, if they can surrender, you can surrender. It's just hard. It's not the mainstream. It's definitely not what you're taught in school. You know? I know you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very interesting journey, because those of us who have grown up kind of in the matrix or in the system or just in the United States in general, it's like not only do you have to relearn, you have to like unprogram yourself everything that's been taught to you, because the majority of it, you know, we've been lied to. And so it's not the easiest journey, but it's amazing and magical. And like, I think it's like you're stepping into the unknown, and that can be scary because you don't know what's going to come next. And so those things where it's like, oh, I'm getting a paycheck every week, or oh, I have all these benefits, like those are important too. The practicality is important too, and the foundations are important too. But there's many different paths.
Yeah.
And you know, like, you're always going to be okay. You're always going to have enough.
Exactly. And I think coming back to the unknown, it's like when you're in the ocean and it's dark and you don't know what's in the water. A lot of people, their first thing is there's probably a shark. I know that's my first thing sometimes. Or something touches you, it's a shark. And it's like, why do we have to think that just because we don't know what there is, that it's the biggest, scariest thing that could happen? And when we think like the unknown of, oh, I'm not going to have my job, I'm not going to have benefits.
Yeah,
what if I get
do
hurt?
that too.
You go straight to the worst possible
case.
thing.
But I've been reprogramming myself to be like, why do I always think about the worst case? I need to start putting more energy towards what is the best thing that can happen, because you can make the shift like that.
Exactly.
Like that. It's your choice.
Exactly. Or there's so many other possibilities of what it could be. It could be a little fish, a school of fish, a dolphin.
It could be a mermaid.
Why not? Or maybe you're the mermaid. So yeah, it's reprogramming yourself for sure.
Oh, well, thank you, girl. Thank you so much for like your wisdom and your words, and I'm excited for y'all to watch this, and like, you know, people are gonna watch this, and I feel like you're gonna inspire so many people. And thank you for being raw and real and vulnerable. It's so needed. And yeah, stay tuned because we got an after coming up. So blessings, aloha, infinite gratitude, highest prayers. Okay.